Welcome to another installment of NR 693, the Natural Resources Stewardship Seminar. And today we have two folks from the Colorado Natural Heritage Program, CNHP. We've got Susan Punjabi, who is a botanist, and Rob Shore, who is a zoologist. So we have plants and animals, pretty much all of life covered here. And they're going to tell us a little bit about CNHP and what they do there. Thanks, Sonia. Hi everybody, nice to be here today. What Rob and I would like to share with you today is some information about the Colorado Natural Heritage Program and our role in conserving Colorado's biodiversity. Rob and I are just two members of the CNHP staff who have been working with the Heritage Program for quite a long time. What I'm going to start with for the first probably about 40 minutes is a quick overview of the Colorado Natural Heritage Program. And like I said, talking about our role in conserving Colorado's biodiversity, answering 5 biodiversity key questions, which is an approach that we take throughout. It's sort of a common theme through our research, and then how we apply the data that we gather for conservation planning and conservation strategy implementation. So we're a staff of about 25 people. Most of us are here on campus, and then about 3 or 4 people who work out of their homes on the west slope of Colorado, Durango and Ridgeway. Dave Anderson, you've met, our director right here. And then we have zoologists, botanists, and ecologists, conservation planners, and information managers, including more the technology and the GIS component of things. And a lot of us, as I said, have been working together for quite some time. I've been working at the Heritage Program for 21 years, and Rob for 18. So a lot of us have been working, and then some fresh blood as well. So we're here, those of us that are here on campus are in the General Services Building, right here, just east of the running track at Pitkinnon College. And as, of course, we're here at CSU, and to get a sense for where we fit into the college, we're in the Warner College of Natural Resources, which has 5 departments, and we're in the Fish, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology department. Even though our offices are over in the General Services Building, that's how we tie in with the university. We're what you call a sponsored program, which means we need to come up with all of our own sponsors. We don't have any sort of support from the university without bringing in outside grants and contracts to be able to function. But then we do have that support through the university to be able to have the office space and be able to run those grants and contracts and operate those projects. And our focus is service, research, teaching, and extension. As I said, self-funded. So what we specialize in is tracking the location and status of rare and imperiled plants, animals, and plant communities. When I say plant communities, that's a combination of plant species that's found in a repeating pattern on the landscape. And also ecological systems, natural communities are all defined by that kind of repeating pattern of plants on the landscape. So we have a giant database called Biotics that we've been building for about 30 years here in Colorado. And this is the foundation, is the information about all the plants, animals, and plant communities that are found in Colorado, and especially those that are considered to be rare and imperiled. Our mission is to preserve the natural diversity of life by contributing the essential scientific foundation that leads to lasting conservation of Colorado's biological wealth. So our goal is really to provide that scientific foundation that can help with conservation of the biological resources. We work with a lot of different partners. Some people might think that, well, the federal government or state government would have some kind of a database that would contribute this scientific information to protecting biological diversity. But there really isn't a comparative program at a federal or state level. We partner with a whole lot of the state agencies, universities, federal agencies, academic institutions, land trusts, and all coordinate to build this biotics database that's going to support this scientific foundation. And we're part of what's called the NatureServe network. If you're not familiar with NatureServe, I really welcome you to visit their website at some point. There is a program very much like the Colorado Natural Heritage Program in all the states of the United States, all the Canadian provinces, and a lot of the Latin American countries. I think we're up to about 84, and they're also getting started on some heritage programs in the Eastern Hemisphere as well now, but this gives you a sense for all the programs that share this common methodology. NatureServe is a program that was started by the Nature Conservancy about 40 years ago. And the Nature Conservancy was wanting to protect, you know, plants and animals and the land and water they need to survive. That's their mission. And they were trying to figure out, well, where should we protect these things? It looks kind of nice over here, but like really what's important? So they developed this whole, at the time it was called the Association for Biodiversity Information, and it went through a whole bunch of different name changes, but it's the same idea. NatureServe, this network of all the natural heritage programs that you can think of as kind of the scientific arm of the Nature Conservancy, and intended to help not just the Nature Conservancy, but all land managing agencies and the different land trusts and that sort of thing, figure out, well, where are these important natural resources? So sort of a key set of questions that pulls together all the work that we do. We call the 5 biodiversity conservation questions that, hey, this isn't copywritten or anything, hopefully would be applicable and useful to different projects you guys might be working on to think as you go through. And the first is, what species and ecosystems exist? The second, which are at risk or otherwise significant? Where precisely are they found? How are they doing at those locations? And finally, what are the most important and urgent places to protect? So our work is largely based on field-based observations. We get out in the field with volunteers, staff, working with all the different partners and the field people they have to feed information into our biotics database from our field observations. And the first question, what species exist? Well, wherever you're working, first you're going to start with what's even there. And so, for example, we found a new plant species during one of our 2008 surveys. So about every 3 years or so, there's a new plant species discovered in Colorado, which is really pretty exciting.
Like a new species.
And this is a new species to science, and then in some cases it might just be new, hadn't been documented in Colorado before. There's the habitat for this new plant species. And the example in the animal world is the pygmy rabbit, which had not been documented in Colorado. This is a very rare, or not super rare necessarily, but restricted and a species of concern that is found just in sagebrush habitat in the western United States and had not been documented in Colorado until we were out in the field taking data about what species were there. Okay? For the plant communities, we've done a lot of work, ordination, classification, trying to figure out what plant communities exist. And this is an example of a guide that we produced to wetland and riparian systems.